We're busy doing nothing. Okay, I've come to sort things out. But before we get started, if you're enjoying the channel, please make sure you hit the subscribe. I'm trying to get those numbers up a little bit. And it would be fantastic if you did, if you could share it, whatever it, and stick a comment in as well. But today, we've got to I do spend a lot of time doing other things. I'm here on very short bits of time. So I'm trying to fit this in and around everything else, which means that, I don't get stuff done as quickly as I'd like. So today is relatively early. Crikey. So we're going to get in, try and get some cable in, try and get it tested, finished, done. Oh, you know the stuff. Let's get on with it. Put the hammer down, bestie. Put the hammer down and go do something sensible. Right. Okay, so let's see if we can sort some of these circuits out. So, shocking. Well, my dear friend, we've got a bit of an issue, in as much as just on one of the tests, I've got a reading that indicates that the insulation is compromised somewhere. So I've now got to try and find out where that might be and see if I can sort it out. One of these days, something's going to go really well, really smoothly, in about half the time that I expected. But at the moment it ain't, and it's slow, and it's painful, and it's horrible. We've been here before, haven't we? Oh well, time to unscrew some stuff and see if I can find a problem. Well, that is better news because, just gone back through some of the sockets, sorted. Hey. Right, let's carry on. This is exciting because, I know it's not tidied away and all the rest of it. I just want to see if my connection in here, I've got a fuse spur off the sockets, and I just want to see if this works. And if this works, folks, I want to hear a collective cheer. Yeah? Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Ah! I'm only kidding. Come on, we'll do it properly this time. Sorry, that was a bit mean, wasn't it? Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Get in. Woo-hoo-hoo. I'll turn it off because it's still covered in all the plastic. But hey, how about that, folks? That is awesome. We seem to have done all right. We seem to have got the circuit in. I've done the testing. The readings come out right where you want for ZS, ZE, R1, R2, all the other things, all the electric boys out there and girls. In fact, one of my tutors was a lady who, I'm told, some horrific accidents at work type electric things, which I don't know if her sole job was to try and put you off, but it damn near worked. And it's made me nervous ever since. But we've managed to get the readings. I ramble. We've managed to get the readings. I've also got one of these little gizmos, and this one just sort of says, I'll do a few checks, and it's quite useful. You can, if you wanted to test the RCD and you didn't want to go down, and you haven't got your probes or anything to see if it trips, you don't get a reading as to how fast it trips, but just to prove that the RCD still does trip, there's a little button on here with it. But anyway, you plug it in, flick it on, does a little bit here, and then it's there. So it's saying, yeah, that's good, that's good. So those readings were essentially the green bit here and the green bit here. So, you know, that's, hey, how cool is that? I was going to have a go at tackling the cooker circuit. The problem I've got there is the wire is so thick that it's really hard to bend. I've got no space in there to do it, and I need to get some strength from somewhere. Maybe a can of spinach or maybe some Weetabix, I don't know which. But anyway, I was having a disaster. I couldn't get the readings. The whole thing looked like the circuits had a complete short circuit in it, which in other words, I'd basically made a mess of the cables, and instead of going this way and that way, it was going the other way. You know, I think that's technical, is that? So I'm sorry if I've gone a bit technical there on the descriptions. So the electricity is meant to run that way and that way, not that way. It was something like that. Anyway, managed to do it, sort it, and holy guacamole, the kitchen has sockets. I know, it's cool, isn't it? Well, it's unbelievable as well. But there you go. Yeah, we're getting there. So tomorrow when I come back, it's going to be the cooker circuit, and I just want to wire in and test outside light, boiler, and the extractor fan. And I know there's been some comments about where the cable is positioned. Well, there isn't a great deal of space up there to do it, and I couldn't go up into the floor and back down because that's right under the corner of the bath where all the pipes are for the bath, so I couldn't do it there. That was the only place on the guidance. It always says assume that there are cables vertically. So if you see a socket, if you see something like that, you should assume the cables could run this way, and they could go top to bottom or bottom to top sort of thing. So they're kind of like these zones that if you're there, you try and you try and put it in the zones, you try and do it properly, you don't do this, you don't do that. There's a million and one things, but sometimes the practical nature of the building, because we had a chunk of wood up there, as well as some metal, as well as some other stuff, and the lintel, yes, the one that I drilled through, and things like that. So I was a bit kind of stuck as to where to put things, but you know, you do what you can. And all right, it might be a few millimeters out. There you go. Another thing, an interesting one. Interesting? God, I'm stretching it. This socket here, I don't know if you can see me here. This socket here, and the proximity to the sink, it is down, in the UK, it's down to building regulations, not electrical installation regulations, about having 300 mils from there to there. So yeah, it's quite weird that it's not an electrical thing, but they don't comment on it at all. It's only building regs that say 300 mils. So there we go. Right, anyway, enough of this. Tune in for some more of this tomorrow, where we can do all again. I tell you, get yourself a strong coffee so that you can, you know, keep going all the way through. But never mind, folks, because come on, we are. Oh, today was good. So we are getting closer and closer to kidding myself that I'm nearly done, because I'm not. I'm miles off, but we're a little bit closer. So there we are. We are escaping, folks, to the dream house. Oh yes, and I'll see you back here for more tomorrow.